Well, for many, many years, the phrase El Salvador was synonymous with violent crimes. El Salvador is one of the most violent places in the world. But then they got a new president, Nayib Bukele, and now it's a lot safer than Baltimore. So maybe we could learn something here in the United States. The president of El Salvador joins us live. So of all the countries in the world the Biden administration could single out for criticism, they've picked El Salvador, led by President Nayib Bukele. The vice president recently said El Salvador was undemocratic, meaning what? That they enact society-changing regulations without a vote? Oh no, that's them. Actually, we went to El Salvador not that long ago and found that Bukele seems very popular. In fact, he's an 86% approval rating. Why is this? Because he's improved life for the people who live there. Crime is down dramatically. Homicides, in particular, have plummeted since Bukele took office in 2019. You're seeing those numbers on your screen now. If only someone in our country would do this. How'd they do it? Well, Bukele built a massive prison complex to house 40,000 gang members. He's not letting them out. He's putting them in. And so other people get to live and their children aren't murdered. Now Bukele is threatening to cut off food for imprisoned gang members if gangs continue to kill people on the outside. Yesterday, the president told the UN that organized crime has been defeated in his country. Here's a clip.
We have moved from being a country unknown to many, and those few who knew us due to the gangs, the deaths, violence, war. We've moved from that to becoming a country known for our beaches, our surf, our volcanoes, our financial freedom, our good governance, and the fact that we brought an end to organized crime.
So people are getting murdered less. That's not a good thing. We think it is, and we are honored to be joined right now by the president of El Salvador, President Bukele. Mr. President, thanks so much for coming on. So it sounds to me like you reduced the murder rate in El Salvador in a pretty straightforward way. I wonder why other heads of state aren't calling you for advice on how to do it in their countries.
Thank you, Tucker, for having me, and I'm glad to be here. Well, I don't know. Every country, I think, has their own problems. I would guess that probably our approach, that is very, very popular with the people, has a problem. And the problem is that it has common sense. And
yes.
I say it's a problem because usually the new wave of governance is taking away common sense and started doing things the other way around, the way that, of course, you shouldn't do them.
So when you it seems like when you became president in 2019, you focused very specifically on crime, gangs, murder. Is that correct? And why did you do that? Why that issue?
Well, not only on crime, of course. We focus on other issues: education, health, public works, investment, tourism, infrastructure, etc. But of course, crime is the most important thing. I mean, you might enjoy a road or a beach, but that's if you're alive. So of course, yes, the lives of the people are the most important thing. So that's why we focus on crime more. But of course, we did focus on all the other issues as well.
So you've threatened to cut off food to gang members in prison if they don't stop the killings on the outside.
Yeah.
Do you think that they are directing those killings? They're responsible for them? And do you think this will work?
Well, at the beginning they were ordering the killings from the prisons. In the prisons they had, if you see most of the prisons in Latin America, they're like headquarters for crime. They'll be there, yes, they have phones, internet access, computers, they will give orders from the inside to the outside. You can find everywhere in Central and Latin America, you can find all of those examples. Now in El Salvador, communicating to the outside, it's impossible. You can't communicate from a prison to the outside. The internet access is blocked. It's impossible. So, but still, all these gang members are the bosses of the other gang members outside. So of course, gang members outside resent if you and won't like if you do something to their bosses inside the prisons. So one of the things we did was we threatened gang members outside that we will take retaliation with their people inside if they continue the killings of innocent people in El Salvador. That actually, if some people don't know this, but El Salvador was actually the murder capital of the world. I mean, we were a lot more dangerous than Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, you name it. El Salvador was the worst and the most dangerous place to live. It was the murder capital of the world. And now we're on our way to be the safest country in the whole American continent.
It's an amazing story. And I hope mayors of our cities, Baltimore, Gary, Indiana, New York City, will call you for advice on how to replicate your successes. Mr. President, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Tucker.